It's a beautiful day, and we give glory to God for such an opportunity to be alive. Of course, I know you are feeling so well at home, and I'm glad that you're alive to watch this show. Yes, of course, this is the Tao Show with me, Manye, Oforiwa, Bessey. You know how we do it. On the Tao Show, we bring you powerful men of God. We bring you people whose voices travel all over the world. Yes, and they bring us things that will inspire us, encourage us, strengthen us, and also help us to take bold steps, bold, positive steps. Yes, I'm saying that the Tao Show brings you everything you're expecting from fashion, food, and whatever. Yes, so please stay glued to your seats. I'll say a very big thank you to Bismark Beauty Services for my hair and makeup. Bismark Beauty Services are located at Nungwa Boadi, last stop. Their number is 0242618611. You can also follow her on Instagram at Femspark Beauty Services. Also, 3D Achedi Couture is located at Tama New Town. She gave me this beautiful dress. Yes. Their number is 0541 149783. 0541 149783. And I won't start my show without saying a very big thank you to Tema Melcom Plus. At Tema Melcom, we also offer doorstep deliveries so you can have the opportunity to shop from the comfort of your home. Tema Melcom Plus can be contacted on the number 0247 779578. 0247 779578. We are also saying thank you to Franzico Projects. Franzico Projects is a construction firm that they work on both new and old buildings. Yes, they are there, always at your services. They give you the best. And so please contact them on the number 0542 619870 or 020 308 3838. They can be located at Sprintex Road, Kotobabi, number 2. I have with me a very powerful, blessed man of God. But before I introduce him, we'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that beautiful break. You know, this is still the Tao Show, and I have with me in the studio a very powerful man, Apostle Bismark. Ni Noi Dowuona. Daddy, you're welcome.
Thank you, Manye, for having me on the show.
It's an honor having you here, and I'm glad you came.
It's a two-way thing. It's got an honor for me too.
That's great. Can you please take a minute and say hi to family and friends?
Yeah, hi to members of the Fellowship, Redemption Grace Chapel, at Osu, behind Papaye, and the members of Oland Praise Chapel, Accra, and my darling brother and friend, Pastor Minister Bruce, my wife and my lovely 3 daughters. That's all what I have.
Great. And so we have a very powerful man of God, as I mentioned earlier, and we are having an interesting story. Okay. Now, the topic for today is blessing in disguise. But then I want you to understand it properly from the context I'm going to read out to you. And so a king decided to reward a random person in his kingdom. So he dug a hole on the main road, which led to the village, put a purse which contained gold in the hole and covered it with a huge rock. The king then constantly goes into hiding to see if a faithful servant will willingly roll the huge rock from the road. To his surprise, almost the entire village rained insults on him, including his own council of elders, knowing not that the king was listening to them. One day, a stranger who was carrying a load of vegetables to sell in the king's village, upon seeing the huge rock on the main road, put his load down and gradually rolled the huge rock away from the road alone. It took him more than 2 hours to be able to do that. After rolling the rock away, he found the purse which contained the gold. And now, this is what I think. It can therefore be concluded from the above story that this was a blessing in disguise. Hence our topic for today.
A blessing in disguise.
Yes.
It's a very rich topic, and it represents another curve of learning and education altogether. Like we are wading through streams of intellectualism. You will notice from what you just read that the king wasn't baiting his people.
Mm-hmm.
He was looking to awaken positive responses from his people.
Yeah.
And he has noticed something. He's been the king and their leader for a long time. He may have noticed that apathy have set in, disinterest in this, the drive to build a place, a nation, or a village, or whatever it is where they find themselves, sustained on the principles of commitment. You understand? Drive for success and hard work was no longer there. So he needs to do something as a leader to get his people to come around again and begin to do things the right way. Unfortunately for them, they do not realize that gold would never be found on the surface of the earth.
Okay.
Diamond and stuff like that will never be found on the surface of the earth. You always have to mine something out. You always have to tap into something. And so not knowing that they have to tap into something, the rock was what they were looking at. And they looked at the rock for a long time until a stranger came from nowhere. He rode this way. It took him a while. And that is to say that they put in the work. You understand? They put in the work and then finally he discovered it. And when he discovered it, it changed his destiny, it changed his life situation. He was looking to have the life situation and destiny of his people change. But one way or the other, a stranger came for it. Nonetheless, the lesson will be noised abroad. The education that it is will be told abroad. And the people, some way, somehow, they'll come around to doing things the right way. So, you see, we can package blessings in so many ways. Blessings range from what God pronounced upon you and also a father or something like that. Sometimes when a father gave his consent to a marriage proposal from a guy to his daughter, whatever it is, and make a pronouncement.
So let me not cut you, but you say these are some of the types of blessings.
You will get the types of blessings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Blessings are many, but we could hit on few.
Okay.
Yeah. Particularly the one that God, you see, there was this case about Reuben, who happened to be the first son of Isaac. And Reuben did something so nasty. He went into his father's bed, he uncovered his nakedness, which is that he had an affair with his father's concubine. So when the man was old and was about to leave this world, he called his children. He said, "Children of Isaac, now come. Let me tell you what will befall you." And look at Reuben in the face.
Children of Jacob.
He look at the kids in the faces and look, Reuben, as unstable as water, you are not going to excel. It took Moses coming onto the scene, a man of another unction, another dimension of unction, to speak to Reuben that Reuben, your men will not be few, you will not die. It's not as if they were being buried, but they are not prospering. So blessings that are pronounced are words charged with supernatural powers to go ahead of you, as though it precedes your person and open door. They are like a key in your hand. They open door. But sometimes they don't come in a form, in a shape that you like so much. You see, the things of God are done in the quiet. And sometimes there's no tetremante, ajabe bang, boom, boom, and people don't like it that way.
I love the gun.
Yeah.
I love the gun word. There's no detriment, there's no ajabe bang, boom, boom.
And people don't like it that way. They don't seem to catch what is unfolding. Okay. And then finally, sometimes the original recipient makes it. And they miss out badly. So I pray that that city will wake up to the reality on the ground. That the king is trying to awaken responses from them to get to do things the right way. Another time he can, the king may try yet another thing. And I see that king as a king who has his head, a tiger screw on his neck, and the head is working. I'm looking to have that kind of king in leadership position in any of these African countries where we have tons and tons of mineral resources deposited in the belly of the earth, but just a matter of being mined out and then becoming riches in the hands of the people of Africa so that we become economically empowered. It's not happening that way. I'm looking to see this king in any of these African countries as a leader.
I am sure God is going to bless us with such a king, such a leader.
It's going to come.
So as we started discussing blessing in disguise, you explained a whole lot to us. Do you have types of blessing?
Of course, we have types of blessing. We have types of blessing, and we will take few. The blessings actually define us words that are pronounced.
Okay.
Yes. If I kept something for a son or a daughter or my children as heritage, it's something that they know. But if I make a pronouncement of a blessing, like I did indicate, like it goes ahead of me, like it announces that it precedes their blessing. And invisibly yet visible, it opens door and so on and so forth. Then there could also be a blessing from my father. There could be a blessing from my mother who look at your son or the daughter and say to the son that, look, son, you will excel. Another angle of blessing that I love so much is when a wife decide that my husband will make it. No matter how low and down the man may be, you see the man coming up and doing well because he's enjoying the bargain of the wife. So some of the blessings could go like enjoying dominion. You understand? Mm-hmm. When you look at Deuteronomy, thereabout, something like that, he said, this blessing shall come upon you and overtake you. You know, that's dominion. Okay. It talks about some of them going ahead of you. That is divine speed. Okay. It talks about some of the blessings that cause you to expand, take root, and then bear fruit upward. So we can go on and listen, but these few, about 6 or 7 of them, are what I like to hit on as being the kind of blessing I've been looking forward to seeing somebody enjoying. Somebody may have come from a background that is so poor. They may not have much to show by way of financial prosperity. Okay. But because he's found in the right atmosphere and blessings are being pronounced, lo and behold, it's just a matter of time. You see this fellow shining.
Because of the blessings.
Because of the blessings that are pronounced upon the person. And then curses are also words that are charged with negative supernatural power to hurt, to malign, to hurt, to impede, to become a blockade in a way. So it's just somebody who has gone to school and so much has been invested into him, but it's coming to nothing. That is why I always say that thousands or millions in the hands of a man who is not so much favored will eventually come to penury. But an idea in the minds of a person who is so blessed by God and by people of God who are pronouncing blessing all the time, you see this person shining.
So, Daddy, how does blessing work?
Blessing works like I was just telling you a while ago. Blessing works like this. You meet with opposition, quite right. Mm-hmm. But some way, somehow, you see a door that you never believed was there, opening or beckoning to you. Okay, I was going through some few challenges some time back, and there was this cripple who goes on all fours. You may have cited this cripple once in the community. He goes on all fours. One day we were talking, and he said something. He said, my brother, your money for your kids' school, money for your feeding, money for other things, may be in the pocket of somebody sitting next to you. It's because you are not properly networked.
Okay.
That's a cripple. He goes on all fours. He crawls, literally. So in the course of talking, he said, when I bought my car, he said, what? He said, when I bought my car, I know I can't drive, but I know my wife can drive. So I'll sit at the back and enjoy a ride from my wife. I said, come again. So when we are done talking, I stood up and I saluted him. I said, here I'm the cripple, not you. He said, how do I mean? I said, mentally I'm crippled. Mm-hmm. You are functioning 24/7 and you are alive and kicking up there. So it has covered this aspect. He said, people pronounce blessings upon me. You see how it works? Yeah. It leaves you with ideas and uncommon ideas that makes you find yourself in certain situations that ordinarily you are not qualified to be there, but you will be there.
So blessing leaves you with situations that you are not qualified for, but blessings takes you there. Makes you function properly there. You go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that powerful break. This is still the Tao Show with me, Manye, Oforiwa, Bessey. And of course, I have with me in the studio Apostle Bismark, Ninoy Dowuona. He's been helping us understand the word blessing. On this note, I would want to ask Daddy. I would want us to know what we can term as blessings in life.
All right, that's very good. I look at a man and I see at the pace he's going, and I see how it's looking easy for him to achieve certain heights and clear certain others up his way, and making the climb gradually. And I juxtapose that same with another guy who seems to be in the same field and putting in the work and doing all kind of things, yet it's not really advancing. And you can tell that there's something really wrong. Now, if you lower a bucket into a well to want to get water, there's a kind of sound it gives you when it connects with water. When you're about to scoop water out, you hear boom. But when maybe a part of his body or the base hit water, there's another sound it gives you. And even though you roll it out eventually, your bucket will either be half empty or half full. Meanwhile, there's somebody next to you who is actually scooping to the brim. Let me tell you this, that is a man who is blessed. That is a man who is having all the right things being said in and upon his life. Of course, sometimes by our own doing, we suffer setbacks. By our own doing, we suffer setbacks. And also by our own doing, sometimes we are properly positioned, like you said, to be found in the right atmosphere. It's not something that we can work out so well. It takes divine grace and divine connection to work some of these things out and then place you in the company. Like I told you, it was a cripple who gave me the first reconnection in life. Thereafter, he connected me to somebody in London, and we started working ministry together. From there, I started doing some of these things on radio, some of the powerful media I've been on, and I found out that it's not so much because I know how to talk or we're connected, but it came from one person to another, and then the blessings of the Lord upon my life, it was all that which was working these things, being a key man and opening doors. So you can tell a man who is blessed right away. And sometimes, let us get something straight, this thing straight. Who say he has delayed in life for a long time. And you are mere human, just like myself. You are not God. You cannot come to the firm conclusion that he's struggling or he's not blessed. Sometimes because he's going to do a long distance, and I'm speaking prophetically to you here, you're going to do a long distance, and to appear you are marking time. But you know what God is doing? He's actually working on your legs because you need to do long distance. So the man who will not do long distance might think that he's left you or she's left you behind. 6 weeks you can plant corn and harvest corn. Am I right? It takes 6 years before you can start harvesting a bamboo. And when the bamboo starts growing, you wanted to get to the sky. Only that it cannot, so it keeps bending and yet growing tall. Okay. So I can see this show bending, touching corners of the globe, and still striving to get taller, right, and bending to touch some more strategic areas. That is what I term blessing. A man coming from penury to something, a man coming from nothing to something. That is blessing.
That's what we say sometimes, from grass to grace. And that is blessing.
That's blessing.
Now, initially, we're talking about blessing in disguise. How can you identify a blessing in disguise?
Yeah, I did indicate earlier on that the topic you are treating, I know you may have something in mind you wanted to drive at, but to me, I love to study. I'm a highly studious man. If this thing has gotten to me earlier than this, we will have worked it much more than that. But even within this short time, I've been able to do something. This is deeper than we are saying. The width is something that we cannot measure, and the height is yet another thing. It's a whole new terrain of acquiring knowledge. Just like that king, a wise man for that matter, a wisdom he got from God. And because by the period of time, he's gained the knowledge of how to live with people. And he discovered some few things that these people, they lack the drive to push. They lack the drive for excellence. They lack the drive for this. And general feeling of apathy are setting. Let me whip this thing out of them, bring them back again to line, and all that. You see, all of these things that I'm saying, they are topics on their own that will fall directly from this main topic that you gave us. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather prefer to learn, to understand that no gold will ever, however crooked, no gold in its crooked form, you don't like it. It looks black. It has to undergo process, refine. However crooked, you can never find a gold on the surface of the floor. It has to be mined out. You can never find some of these precious things simply lying carelessly anywhere. You got to tap into something to come out with something. Better things are encapsulated in a way. The Bible says it is a king's honor to conceal a thing, but it is the honor of princes to search it out. Why wouldn't they wanted to put in the work and then make gains? They look to me like a people who always look for the gains and not wanted to put in work. And the king doesn't like that. That's the implication here. It's much more than just identifying a blessing in disguise. Yes, it is a blessing in disguise, but what are they learning? A whole new concept is being taught them by that king. I developed a concept called the concept of business in ministry. And I started working it in one way or the other. And today it has become so popular within ministries because pastors are almost like we are begging. Okay. And the state, the world over, is speaking with one language against the church. And so why don't we now, when we have church buses, put them on the street? Why can't it's business? Okay. Why can't you also diversify and do some other things so that if the state is looking to tax, they can tax our business? Because the church is not a profit-making organization. Okay. So I started working this, and it's working. I've been doing it on radio and so on and so forth. So in as much as a blessing in this guy, there is also education coming with. No longer shall we see something and consider it is Mama Manye thing to do, or Manye will think that it's everybody thing to do, and everybody then will leave it for somebody who doesn't exist.
Will come for it.
Yeah, but the man came from nowhere to come and teach them what they do not know. What an education! I don't know how you came out with this, but obviously your head is tightly screwed on your neck. It's working, and I like that. I like that.
Oh my God, he said my head is working. Of course, your head should be working. The moment you come across this video and you go through it and you look at it and you understand what blessing means, oh my God, your head will just start working like that. Forgive me if it sounds some way, but then it is true. We need our heads to be working together. As Christians, if our heads don't work together, I don't think we can get to a particular destination. And so your head really needs to start working.
I've discovered that sometimes the move of the Spirit kind of wanted to nullify the use of the brain. And then the pastor is asking the church, shall we close? Hey, from morning to 12 o'clock, you answer the people, shall we close? And then want to me from that morning to that 12 o'clock.
I think you are free to use the local language if you want.
Me the crying you want there simply because you are the man standing there. But don't drag it out. But go back a issue of say a husband killing no problems. Need to fulfill back a banning money in neighbor son. Oh, drag is said it's out at 4 o'clock. When you are your husband never money. Meanwhile, she has gone to seek solution.
That's great.
But somebody at the end of the OT had mismanaged purpose and misplaced priorities. And so instead of getting a buyer for her, is becoming another thing. So the use of the move of the Spirit that once it nullified the use of the brain. This man in our head is bigger than this whole world. Okay. If you want me to prove it, I'll prove it now. This is your mobile phone. You go behind the sea, there's a way like the back of the ocean, and let me stand in front of the ocean and let us talk to each other, whether it will not work.
Definitely to work.
Look at the size of the body of water body. Man has come into length and breadth, up and down. The Galacticos, the deepest part of the sea, man has been there, tamed the sea monsters there and controlling them. Man has been able to put metal in the air and it's flying. Man has put metal again underwater and it's sitting down there. When they are done to bring it up, they bring it up. So what is it that this man cannot conceive and cannot do? In fact, as heavy as this head is, if the mind here is not working, then we are giving the neck a whole lot of work.
A whole lot of work.
A whole lot of work. And the man must work. The king wants their minds to work. He wants them to roll up their sleeves and put their hearts together and tell them that you are all seed of greatness. Oftentimes we say somebody has seed of greatness in them. Mommy, how about through careless living? There's another seed that God deposited in there. And along the line, the negative one played out. What happened to the positive one? So I remind the person that from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, you are a seed of greatness. All that you need is to look for the right soil. And where could we find this right? In the hands of God. So you are a minute minimum in the hands of God or maximum. Once you fall in there and get low, the conditions for your germination are right in there. You're going to get germinated and you're going to produce.
And so also soon, our time is almost gone. And so in 2 minutes, if you can help us recognize a person that we can call a blessing. You can see someone around you and probably the person looks some way, but you don't know the person is a blessing in disguise. We want you to help us with that.
Long time ago, I learned because, you see, my father was off the scene before he actually passed. I was struggling to go to school and there was nobody to help me. And I was working homes in Nigeria at the age of 15, 16. Those were my formative period that I need to be sitting in classrooms. I was working homes. Then I ran to a certain doctor who told me that you seem to be holding books all the time. And I said, yes, the economy reason forced me down here. It's okay, I will help you. Do 9 classes while you work for me. That is how this whole thing about education began. And I learned from that moment onward that I mustn't look at a man who is manly dressed before I recognize blessing. I check content. Let us all learn to check content. What is on the inside of the person? Let me bring it up. If I know you already, Mama, Manye, now I know you better. Now I see your capabilities. I know what you are capable of doing, and I know how far you can go.
And so, for you to know a person blessed or a blessed person in disguise, you should just pay attention.
Pay
I
attention.
think that's what you meant.
Precisely. I saw the bishop, and I know right away that it's qualified to stand here and pray while we all listen and say amen.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you saw the weighty words that you released and what the Lord revealed. That is a man of weight and a man of substance. Let me walk by this man and then roughshod him. Meanwhile, he carries something that will impart my destiny positively. If he's that kind, you go ahead anyway and do it for me. But if you find me snobbish and off fish, you say, Charlie, let this guy go away.
Snobbish and
off fish. OFF. Just like you're spelling fish.
Okay.
But off fish.
Okay.
Fish is supposed to be sweet, but when it's hot, man, it's bad.
Aha! Now I get it. Off fish.
Off fish.
I think I've gotten a word I'll be using.
We can run to town with
So
it.
you're supposed to be a good fish, but if you become a bad fish, that means you are off fish.
You are off fish. Yeah.
Okay, so please, in a minute, you would say thank you to our viewers.
Yes, a big thank you to all of you viewers out there, those who are listening. I know somebody will hear and tell a friend and tell another friend. But let's all get this straight. It looks small now. You might think we are obscure corner, but this is about to hit the globe big time. And don't miss out on any of these live broadcasts. God richly bless all of you. And one more time, I say hi to all my friends out there. And for you and your crew for giving me the opportunity. God richly bless you.
Thank you so much, Apostle Bismark. Ninoy Dowuonah. We had a very wonderful time talking about blessing and disguise. And I know, of course, that any moment this video gets to you, you will share for other people to be blessed as well. My name remains Manye, Oforiwa, Bessey. And I'm saying thank you to 3D Ashitey Hotel. They are located at my new town. They gave me this beautiful dress. This is their number, 0541 149783 0541149783. Also, my hair and makeup is by Femspark Beauty Services. They are also located at Nungwa Bois de Last Stop. You can also follow them on IG. Yes, Femspark Beauty Services. Their number is 0242 618611. And I will say a very big thank you to Tema Malcolm Plus. Malcolm Plus, we say thank you for this beautiful space, this beautiful set, and everything you see here. Oh, Malcolm, thank you so much. Please, Malcolm is saying that we also offer doorstep deliveries, so you can have the opportunity to shop from the comfort of your home at Tema Malcolm Plus. Call them on the number 0247 779579. We are saying thank you to Franzico Projects. They are located at Spentex Road, Kotobavi number 2, and their number is 0542 619870 or 020 308 3838. My production is by One Voice Music Production, and they don't just do music, they do every other thing. Yes, they can also be located at Tema Newtown. Please keep watching us right here on this channel. MOB TV or brings you the best, and you know the Tao Show carries a whole lot. And so please stick and stay with us. We see you next week, same time. You know how much I love you, right? I love you. Bye.